How you guys doing? My name's Joe. I'm here at PRP in beautiful Temecula, introducing our new quick release benches that are going to be going into this brand new Turbo R. So here we have the GTSE bench, is all of our classic designs, an RST quick release bench, and of course what we're putting in today is this XCR quick release bench going into this car. We got to get all the old stuff out. We're going to start off with the harnesses, being able to pull out those fold flat seats. We have our brackets that are going to go in, new harnesses that are going to go in, as well as the actual quick release bench. For this install, you're going to need a 3/4 or 19 millimeter, an 18, a 13 T40 Torx, a 13 millimeter socket, an 18 millimeter socket, and a 19 millimeter socket. Alrighty, so on here, we're actually going to pull these seats out. It's going to be very quick, very easy for you. All you got to do is go in between these two slot holes here. There's going to be a tab on the back side. There's a little black tab here. All you're going to do is pull it forward towards you. You're going to be able to unlock the seat, pull up and out. All right, so your next step is actually going to be pulling off this fold flat seat here. You're going to have two 13 millimeter bolts that are in the front here. There is a nut on the backside. The good news is it has a shoulder on it, which means you can take the backside, throw it into the closed end of your wrench, and after you unzip it, you'll be able to slide it all the way out. All right, your next step is going to be taking out your harnesses. Now on here, you're going to need a couple extra tools. One is going to be an 18 millimeter socket and a 19 millimeter wrench. So they did this to make sure that everything can lock into place, hold on to it. They also have quick disconnects that are up front. So here, all you got to do is pull that tab and come right out. A lot of times what they do as a safety feature to make sure that it can't be easily pulled out is there's actually a cotter pin in here that you're going to have to pull out on both sides. This is the only one that you might have a little bit of problem with. All you need is an 18 millimeter socket, 18 millimeter wrench. You'll be able to get in there, take your time, come right out. All right, so the only one that's different in this car are actually these top harness slots. They'll have a 19 millimeter nut on the bottom. Makes it a little bit harder, but you'll be able to get it if you take your time with it. Go with the 18 millimeter socket on top, 19 millimeter on the bottom. First thing we're gonna have to do is actually remove the speaker so you can get to these top bolts. On these speakers, you're gonna have a little wing nut on one side that's gonna be holding in. Just give it a little twist. These shouldn't be that hard to pull off. You're gonna keep going until it comes all the way out. Alrighty, so once you have that T-nut out, you're gonna come in here and just give it just a slight push. There's gonna be this bracket here that's holding everything together. It's molded plastic, so you just gotta be a little careful. Pry that forward just a little bit. It's gonna come up. Once it comes up, you'll be able to kind of push it, bring it to you, and pull it out that way. Now on this other side, there's gonna be a connector, so be very careful here, but that gives you enough room that you can undo it, pull it out, and now you can pull your speaker out. All right, once you got all your bolts loosened out, these two top ones pulled out, you'll be able to grab your harness and pull the whole assembly out. Here we have brand new brackets that we're going to be using, specifically designed for this bench. Now they're little feet that'll actually come in here and lock into place. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to take the thread forming bolts that come in your kit and put them to the front. Once you get your thread forming bolts, you're going to line up your holes here. It's going to be actually on either side of that original bolt hole that you had pulled out. So here you're just going to line them up, take that thread forming bolt and start threading it in. Now it's going to get stopped on the first or second thread, which is okay. So these holes do not have threads in them yet, and that's the whole point of these bolts. So keep them loose, install all four, and then you can zip them in. So on here, you can either use an impact, you can also use a regular ratchet. With a ratchet, you gotta work it just a little bit more, but they'll zip right in. That's not going anywhere. Alrighty, so on your factory full flat seats, there's one thing that we do need off of it, and that's gonna be the quick disconnect that's on the back here. So on the front, you can actually peel back a little bit, kind of feel around. There is a connector here and a connector here that you'll be able to peel off, and you'll be exposed. So go ahead and flip it over. What we're gonna do here is actually remove all the bolts that are on the back holding it on. So this is where it might get just a little bit tricky. So here you have that tab. Once it's unbolted, you got to be able to pull that tab out, slide it back, and then everything's actually gonna come out through the front. Alrighty, so you're gonna retain the 2 bolts that actually came out of the quick disconnect from your factory seats. However, we are gonna provide you with a new bolt to go through the center because it is a little bit shorter. So we wanna make sure that you don't have all this excess thread hanging out. Then when you put it together, that the front flap is facing outward and up. You're gonna go in through the back side here. Everything should slide in real nice and easy. You have a little bit of room there to kind of play around. We do have holes on both sides to make sure that it's very easy. Just thread them in. All right, one thing that's very important to note here is you want to make sure that everything is loose and moving the way you need it to move. Everything's ready to go in, so let's get that bench going. So when you have your harnesses already done, we recommend pulling out that bottom strap that's going to be going into the center. Makes life a lot easier for you. So now that you actually passed all of it through, it becomes a little bit easier. What you're going to do is just take your bench, you're going to lift them up. And this is going to be the important part, is down here you're going to have 4 feet that go into those brackets. Just line them up, slide them forward. So we're going to push this seat back. Now, at this point in time, don't worry if it doesn't clip right in. There's actually a small adjustment that you might have to take care of. All right. So here is where it's kind of important and where you need to have a little bit of a trick. Now, there's 2 latches that are on the back here where you had your fold flats. On either side of them are actually 4 Torx bits. And all you have to do, if it doesn't latch directly in, you'll just loosen them up, lock them in, slide everything down, and it'll hold it in place for you. So on the back of these latches here for our adjustments, it is an actual T40 for these 4 bolts here. So go ahead and give them a crank, loosen them up a little bit. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna loosen up both sides. You're gonna lock the bench into the top. It's okay that the bottom slips out or anything like that. And when you push down, everything should line right back up and lock you right into place. But while we're back here, we're actually going to reinstall that speaker right back into place. So first things first, you're going to put in that clip there for the wiring. You're going to drop it in. Now you'll notice on the back you have 2 cutouts. Here, that's going to be for the 2 molded cutouts that are on the back. They'll slide right into place and it'll drop right in for you. Alrighty, so now that we got the bench in, everything is locked into place. All we have to do is put our harnesses back together and you're actually ready to roll. All right, thanks guys for joining me today on the installation of the XZR quick release bench into these Turbo R and Pro Rs. All right, if you guys need any more information, please give us a call here at PRP or go to prpseats.com. All right, now go have some fun.